Hey y'all, welcome back to the crazy. It's Leslie with Phat Flossing, and I am actually, believe it or not, back a day early for a very quick video. I've got a bunch of stuff on the docket tomorrow, and I didn't know if I'd have a chance to get a video done or not, so I thought I'd do it really quickly today. And today is Thursday, September 19th, 2019. I missed the whole 9:19 a.m. and 19 seconds thing this morning. I guess it would have been cool to film this, but that ship has sailed, so oh well. Thanks y'all for coming back. I sure appreciate y'all being here to visit with me about cross-stitch. You make my day. All your comments and messages are really just a highlight for each and every one of them. And I do read every single one. I don't reply to everyone. I will try to reply if you have a question or to answer the questions here, but I've just run out of time. And I hate sitting at the computer fiddle farting around with it. So, but please keep commenting. I sure love to read them, and they just make my day all the time. Today is hopefully, fingers and toes crossed, the last day of 90+ degree temperatures here. We're supposed to drop into the high 70s tomorrow, and then the forecast for the next 10 days is in the 80s. It's not cool, but it's cooler than it was, and I will take it. And y'all, excuse me. I'm trying to get rid of my headache by sucking down some more coffee. I'm usually a 1 cup of coffee a day girl, but I have a headache and I'd like it to go away, so I'm trying what I can do. The Tylenol is so far not kicking off. There's no news around here, which I always kind of regard as good news. I'm sorry, I'm watching cats play. One of them has got a little fuzzy ball in her mouth and is running around, and 3 of the others are chasing her. So if you hear cat shenanigans, you'll know why. Everybody wants to play with the fuzzy ball. The kittens are all doing great. I just got back from dragging 9 kittens to the vet. So I took 30+ pounds of kitten with me. 4 in one carrier, 5 in the other. They all got their rabies shot, and so far they're all doing good. And they're gonna start leaving this next week. So I miss my babies, but I know that they will get tons of attention when they start going to their new home. So they'll be leaving kind of incrementally over the next month as they age out at 16 weeks and are ready to go. So, but they're all doing great. My 2 littler ones are doing okay. I was at the vet yesterday with, I think it was yesterday, with one of Velvy's babies. He's got the squirts, so we went and he's got some antibiotics and some other stuff, and keep your fingers crossed for him that he gets over that pretty quick. If it's not one thing, it's 20 others. Somebody asked me how much I sold my kittens for, and I told them, and they said, wow, you're making a killing at that. And I laughed and laughed and laughed because it's got to be, well, probably not the single most expensive hobby known to man, but I'm pretty sure it's up there. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk a little bit about cross-stitch since we're 3 minutes in and I'm planning on keeping this short. I didn't have any finishes this week. Sorry, I'm still looking to see what the cats are up to. I didn't get a whole lot of stitching time this week. I had things going on during the day, running back and forth to the vet and errands and just kind of one thing and another. So I don't think I stitched it all on Tuesday, maybe. There was one day this week I didn't put a stitch in, which is unusual for me. I usually at least get a little bit in. And then I did get a little bit of stitching last night, but I haven't accomplished much this week. And I'm still kind of trying to work on my whips for the most part and try to make a dent in those. And I pulled out Fractur Flowers from La Di Da. I'm doing Julie McConnell's conversion. Did I say I didn't have any finishes, no FFOs? Because I don't. Barely had any work on my whips. But anyway, I'm doing Julie McConnell's conversion for La Di Da. And the fabric is murky. And this is a pretty pattern when it's done on any fabric, but I think it's very dramatic on the murky. And I finished my urn and got the pedestal on the base of the urn. And then I came up here and I think I finished the center leaf and got some more work done over here. And then I started on the base of the bird. Now outline the bird's wing and start on the base of the bird. So I did get a little bit of progress. I'm anxious to get this done. I really think it's very pretty. I started it, I think, January, and I'd like to get it done this year. The whole Stitch 9 thing is out the window for me. There's no freaking way I'm gonna get that done, but I would like to get some of them done. So goals are important, y'all. I seldom make them, but it's important to have them. And, oh, I mentioned I'm doing Julie McConnell's conversion, which she just kind of deepened and richened the flosses that she had pulled. If you wanted to do that conversion, you can just call Julie. She'll be happy to give you the conversions as long as you're willing to buy the flosses from her. And then, drink break. I cannot suck that coffee down fast enough, y'all. I started, I've been seeing a few people doing this, and then I watched Ellen, Maximum Cross-Stitch Power Hour, I believe is her channel. And she had started the Tired Trio from Plum Street. And I think I have told y'all before that one of our dogs, we call him the Sloth because he's the laziest dog God ever made. Oh, he's ridiculous. I will try to put up an Instagram video of him soon. He's like a noodle. He has no muscle tone. He's so lazy. So we call him the Sloth. So I had to do this for my Fudge. And here's my start on Tired Trio, or as I'm calling it, the Fudge Cross-Stitch. So I got one of the fudgies done. And I'm doing the faces 1 over 1. And then I started on this tree. There's a lot of stitches in that tree, y'all. This is Picture This Plus Feldspar. Picture This Plus Feldspar. And I'm using maybe 30% of the call for threads, and the rest are just pulled out of my, nope, wrong ones. Nope, that was right ones. Pulled out of my Victorian Motto and miscellaneous thread stash. So I'm loving it. I did do something that I have never done, and I don't know if y'all will be able to see this or not, because I know the resolution on the forward-facing camera is not awesome on the iPhone. On that 1 over 1 face, I had started over here doing 1 over 1 full cross with 1 strand, and this is a 36 count. And it was just, it felt bulky. It had that, you know, you're trying to pull the thread through, and I didn't like it. So I finished that little face with a 1 over 1 tent stitch. And you can see where I did, doesn't lay quite as flat right up here. Those are where I did the full cross. And then the rest of his face is tent stitch. The tent stitch gave, the coverage is fine. It's absolutely just about as good as the full cross. And it felt a whole lot better to do, and it was quicker, and so tent stitch is gonna be for that. So I started him, I think last Saturday. I think. It's all run together, I think. Y'all probably can't see my coffee. If I can do this without spilling it. What are the odds? Slim. But you see my coffee is very light. I'm more about the creamer than I am about the coffee. The coffee is strictly for the wake up properties thereof, not so much the taste. But I do love that creamer. Okay, and then last night, I've been saying that I wanted to start the Checkered Stag sampler from Samplers Remembered. I saw, again, Julie McConnell. She's gonna be the death of me, or the death of my wallet anyway. So pretty. And I had put up a post on Instagram regarding which fabric to use. And this is Picture This Plus Sand. And then one of the other alternatives was Hazelnut, which I think was a silk weaver fabric, I think. And then the third choice was a grayish tone fabric from Color and Cotton. And the results were neck and neck between the Picture This Plus Sand and the not Feldspar, whatever the R&R, shoot me now. whatever the silkier fabric were. But I went ahead and settled on sand, because when I pulled out one strand of this kind of olive green color and laid it on the that darker linen, it did not show up. There was not enough difference between that color and the linen. So I went ahead and started it on the sand. This is 36 count sand, which I really like. I like it because it's a good neutral. It doesn't have a yellow undertone per se. It's really a neutral tan color, not yellow. I just converted this to miscellaneous silks from my stash, and they're a miscellany of multiple different dyers. There are silks for you, Mrs. Cetus, Moselle, more silks for you, One Classic Colorworks, you know, a smorgasbord. So anyway, I'm happy with those colors and really happy with how that first little flower looks anyway. So I got to start on the Checkered Stag sampler, and I'm probably, we have a lot of plans for this weekend, so I don't know how much I will get done, but that's probably my plan, to work on this when I get to cross stitch this weekend. Let's see. I've worked, I think I did one more day on Elizabeth Weston, but I really didn't get enough progress to make it worthwhile to haul it out and show y'all. I just got a little bit more border done. Nothing to write home about. So, where does that leave me? Well, I'm still planning on October 1st starting the Praiseworthy Stitches Sal. I hope you'll all stitch along with me. The one I am doing is the Carols on the Square, because I'm in love with that Smyrna Cross tree. And I've got it kitted up in the call fors and beads here. And this is not the call for linen. This is Weeks Dye Works Periwinkle, I believe. I think, in a 35 count. The call for is Picture This Plus Nocturne in a 32, but I had something close in my stash, so I went with that. Anne at the Shepherd's Needle is doing a coupon code for this Sal. It's SALFUN19, SALFUN19, which will get you a 15% discount, not only off of this pattern, but any Praiseworthy Stitches pattern and the supplies to do whatever that particular pattern is. And all the contact information to get in touch with Anne will be in the drop down below when I get a chance to do it, which may not be tonight, it may be tomorrow, more likely. But it'll be there sooner or later. But that's my plan, to start that on October 1st. And this Sal is stitched along on any Praiseworthy Stitches piece. And they have a multitude of Christmas, Halloween, Easter, spring, Quakers, you name it. And Anne will apply that discount to any of them. She's going to start a new Halloween one, I believe, which I never can remember the name of, but it's very pretty. And I have broken down, because, you know, enjoying all the Sals, and decided I am going to, I probably won't start it on October 1st, because I'm going to start that on October 1st. But at some point during October, I am going to start Lynette Lepper, Homesteading on the Homefront, is hosting a Sal to stitch any pattern from the Blackbird Designs Home for the Holidays book. I believe that I'm going to do this little stocking, because I think it's really cute, and it's got a red house on it, so what's not to love? But I don't know when I'll do it. I've never done one of these little bitty stockings. I've done a full-size stocking. I did a couple of those for my nieces way back in the midst of time, years ago. Did a couple of dimensions kits. Or I think I did one dimensions kit and one shepherd, because I discovered shepherd's bush, and then I had to do a shepherd's bush stocking for my other niece. But I'm going to do one of these little ornament stockings, which may or may not end up as an ornament on my tree. I don't do a red and green tree. My tree is very kind of eclectic Victorian. It's more purples and mauves and teals and really red and green Christmas colors. So I may be changing the colors of this a little bit too, but I am going to do that sometime in October. And also at the Shepherd's Needle has this book in stock. It is still in print. I think the number of copies available may be somewhat limited in some places, places. But the last time I spoke with Anne, she did have several copies of this left in stock. And again, I will link her down below. Okay. What else? I had 0 haul. I was good for a week, y'all. It can happen. It's not likely to happen, but it can happen. So I have no haul this week. But I did have some stitchy kindness. Greta Carter, who is on, excuse me, Instagram as Greta Carter 0813, I believe. And she comments frequently on, I see her comment on a lot of things on Instagram and on a lot of videos, and she usually comments on my videos, and very nice lady. Emailed me and said, I saw something that's perfect for you and I want to send it to you, so can I get your address? And I said, well, sure, why not? And I had to laugh because this arrived this week. This is from My Big Toe, and it says, just one cat short of crazy. Now, y'all, I'm probably a few cats, more than one, on the far side of crazy, but that is so cute. And I do think I will probably try to change the cats when I do it, that I will probably try to make them pointed cats like Bermans. But isn't that cute? I loved it. Thank you so much, Greta. It's very much appreciated. I have to figure it out, you know, what I'm gonna kit it up with, but I will get this started sooner rather than later. Thank you again. That's very special that you sent it to me. I appreciate it. And I think that's all that I have to talk about. I yapped long enough last week. I don't have to yap a long time this week. So let's get to the goodies, the giveaways. And I had a lot of comments this week on the giveaways. And the first one is the long stocking from Pine Mountain Designs. This is actually a punch needle pattern. And all three of, or actually 2 of these were donated by Crystal Geek, who sent me a bunch of stuff for me to give away to y'all. So thank you, Crystal, for enabling us all. It's really pretty little punch needle design. You can't see it, but there's a tree here in the middle. If I were doing it, I would probably adjust the color somewhat to make that tree show up a little bit better. But very cool. And the winner for this one is Day Before Michelle. So Michelle, if I put my email address in the drop down, again, it may not be there today for this one, but you could go back to a previous video and find my email address. And if you will send me your mailing address, I will get this sent out to you. And then we also have a little mini kit from Artiste Designs, and this is the whole kit. It's got some Ada and the floss and everything in it. And it's I Love Dogs, which is super cute. And quite a few people commented on this, and the winner for this one is Laura Benham. So Laura, same thing. If you will email me with your mailing address, I'll get that on the way to you. And then the one that had the most comments, this one was really popular. This is 2019 Fragments in Time workshop number 2 from Summer House Stitchworks. I showed my version of this finished 2 videos ago, I believe. That very cute little pattern. And I had, like I said, a poop ton of comments on this one. And the winner for this one is Robbie Thurston. So Robbie, same song and dance. Email me. You can find it in the drop down, and I will get this sent out to you. I will caution you. I'm going to show the pattern very briefly here. When you're stitching it, look out for where the copyright information is actually printed across the pattern. It will mess you up. So you just have to spend a little time figuring it out, but it is figure outable. So that's it. This one goes to Robbie, Laura, and Michelle. Y'all get in touch and I will get those sent out to you. One more drink. And I think it's working because the headache's going away. Or maybe that was getting out of the heat, lugging the 30 pounds of kitten around. That could be it too. So these are all, again, courtesy of Crystal Geek for this week's giveaways. And since we are coming up on the Christmas season, this one is Snow Globes. And it's got a number of very cute little Christmas patterns. Little bird. I don't think anybody's going to see these long enough. Penguin. which I guess is another kind of bird, a deer. Anyway, they'd make very cute little ornaments, and they're sized perfectly and shaped perfectly for ornaments because they are round. So I believe there's 8 of them in here. Super cute. So if you'd like to stitch any of these, if you will comment somewhere in your comment on this video number 87, I'd like to stitch the snow, S-N-O-W. And then before my next video, hopefully next week, I'll draw with a random comment picker thing for, from the comments that have snow in them. Number 2 is, this is a Margaret Sherry pattern, and it's called Buzzing By. But what I want you to comment with is, I'd like to stitch the hedgehog, because oh my gosh, isn't he cute? With that bee right up above him. I'd like to stitch the hedgehog. And then thirdly, is an actual original cardstock Prairie Schooler. Again, courtesy of Crystal. This is number 97, All You Can Eat. I like the fish, eating the fish, eating the fish. So if you would like to stitch the Prairie Schooler, what I want you to comment is, I'd like to stitch the fish. And this one says picnic area, and this one says something about fish in it. So anyway, fish. I'd like to stitch the fish, the hedgehog, or the snow. And I will draw for those again whenever video number 88 rolls around, hopefully next week, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Yeah, sucking down the coffee's helping. So I think that's all. 21 minutes, good Lord, with hardly anything to talk about. I can sure yap with the best of them, can't I? I appreciate y'all coming by. Thank you so much. You make my day. I love your comments. I love the interaction. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you do. What, baby? We're sneaking up on 2,900 subscribers. And when I get to 3,000, I will do another giveaway with the project bag and everything. And Cynthia, I have not forgotten. This has just been kind of a week from hell as far as getting things done. Mochi wants to come say hi. This is Mochi. He is a 5-year-old lilac point boy. Mochi came back to me. The people that had him invoked that clause that says, if you ever can't keep your cat, you let me know and I will get him back. And they had a major illness in the family and couldn't keep him. So Mochi came back to live with me, and he's a sweet boy. I'm a big old boy. He's a little bit bigger than average for a Burman. He's about 10 or 11 pounds. He's the one that ate the dog medicine last year, and he's a very expensive kitty now. That was a lot of vet bills. But anyway, enough about cats and cross-stitch and everything. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week next week, and I will see you all soon. Happy stitching, y'all. God bless. Bye-bye.